Look, if this feels less like an essay and more like a rant with opinions and lists and random sentences and contradictions all over, it's because it is. I just want to get a lot of things regarding this issue off my binder because honestly, in my most unhumble of opinions, the more I grow up, the more I want to stay as far away as I can from people in general, especially other men. As a biological male myself, allow me to begin this entry with this. You are not a quote lonely man, unquote. You are simply an asshole using whatever excuse that works well just enough to allow you to get away with being a terrible person, a shitty person. So get your head out of your hairy asshole and stop hiding behind that stupid victim narrative because it's cowardly as fuck. With that being said, let's get right into the entry. As the title so eloquently stated, yes, I do believe that there is no such thing as a male loneliness epidemic, quote, quote. What there is something I like to call a mass-scale accountability deficit, which, by the way, isn't a male-exclusive issue, but a worldwide issue. A social isolation issue that is fucking everyone in the ass. Not just you. You're not special, and you're no different from the rest of us whores, so sit back down. Thank you. Whatever this male loneliness epidemic is nothing short of a self-inflicted bullet hole, and what a lot of fools so languidly call loneliness is what I like to call an abundance of free time. And what we got a lot of are these brain-dead losers talking about needing friendship and company, and then proceeding to whine about being constantly friend-zoned like that's a bad thing. Excuse you! You have this golden opportunity to literally have a friend, to be with someone platonically who genuinely just wants to spend time with you for the sake of spending time with you. Someone who just wants to hang out and have fun and you don't want it. Why? Because she's a woman? Yeah, and yes, I have seen it with my own two damn googly eyes how so many of these people will demand, we need more friends, we need to make more friends, and we need to stop being so shallow, only to just blow off any opportunity they have to make a friend with any actual good people who are great would-be friends, all because of something shallow, like their looks, or their family, or their history, or how they talk, or how they dress, or where they came from. Think of that scenario for just a second. I know I can take responsibility and be the mature individual in this scenario like I'm supposed to be, but God, blaming people, especially women, is just too damn easy. Searching for a scapegoat is nothing short of intellectual laziness, and no, you are not a genius, nor do you look like one simply for figuring out who's at fault. You're a fucking dumbass is what you are. The kind on the street people listen to for some time and then completely forget about because while you did find the source, did you find a solution? What made you worth memorizing? Nothing. This pathetic narrative, this male loneliness epidemic narrative, paints a terrible and this overpriced portrait of men being the real victims in all of this, of men being passive casualties in a social system designed against them while they blissfully ignore such a blatant truth. Your loneliness is a direct result of whatever behavior you most actively and deliberately choose. Let us take a look at women let's take a look at women real quick because obviously no gender related opinion or debate or ideal can be complete without looking at all sides. Now, women. I love women. I fuck with women. I fuck with women for real. They face systemic oppression, deplorable wage gaps, societal pressure, being scapegoated so many times for the faults of men, and a plethora of other problems at the hands of the patriarchy, and yet you don't see any talk of the female loneliness epidemic. Why? I'll tell you why. Because the majority of women, not all women, but a large majority, consistently build deep communities and support networks and strong connections and friendships, relationships. Also why? Because a majority of them prioritize connection. They prioritize vulnerability and effort and emotional maturity and understanding. The majority of men, however, they go into self-isolation and they blame feminism, or the left, or wokeism, or whatever the next popular term to describe anything that forces them to check their own values and whatever. And also their most favorite term to use, society. They refuse to do any of the most basic of work, of being even remotely likable and bearable and an overall decent human being with empathy. How dare you ask for companionship? How dare you demand for it when you radiate such intense resentment and emotional laziness? Loneliness isn't happening to you, it's happening because of you. Here you are being such an unjustifiably abhorrent asshole, and yet you wonder why you don't have any friends. Sounds like a you problem. Sounds like a skill issue, bro. And I am allowed to call it a skill issue because the majority of these idiots will proclaim that you will have the skill issue when you bring up crucial shit, like workers' rights and union rights or trying to earn a livable wage in capitalism, in late-stage capitalism. The epidemic of male loneliness was built from the same rotten wood that was used to fuel crap like misogyny and emotional illiteracy. And while I do sympathize with the people who are genuinely suffering at the hands of this issue and not blaming it on women, but are genuinely just trying to find some way to fix things to help themselves, and while I also hope they find their way out of that dark tunnel, I genuinely wish they find any light that isn't held by a member of the manosphere. The male loneliness epidemic, in my idea, is the result of a society, of a culture, making community harder to build, to sustain, and protect. Because when we judge everyone who enters a store, when we refuse to greet people when they walk in, when we don't engage with our neighbors, our friends, our coworkers, what do you think is going to be the result? Another glaring issue I'm seeing regarding this is that nowadays relationships, even the most basic and shallow ones, are now expected to be transactional, especially romantically transactional. It's like the idea of being with people for the damn sake of being with people is completely unfathomable. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time you actually talked to someone? Doesn't have to be a man, doesn't have to be a woman. When was the last time you talked to someone, anyone, without waiting for your chance to talk? When was the last time you invested in a friendship or a relationship without any transactional expectation? When was the last time you left your ego in its dog cage and just apologized for something? Support, grow. When? You are, either purposefully or vice versa, and for lack of any better way to put my words in, weaponizing your own incompetence in whatever big or small way, in whatever big and or small relationship you have. You've confused stoicism with emotional ineptitude. And let me make another thing clear. I'm not just blaming people for this, because even I understand that there are a lot of other crucial components that play a huge part in contributing to this problem as well. Third spaces are dying. Technology and social media are making it harder for us to just go out and trust people. Skills are dying, hobbies are being commodified. But all I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, the main root of the problem, of any problem, is people. Especially the boys who cry, "It's a pandemic, it's their fault, we don't deserve this," all they want, but here are my exact words for you. Don't think for even a second that you have any right to play pretend, that you don't understand why people don't want to endure your energy. The worst part of this entire mess is the fact that the solution is so fucking simple and so damn obvious. Just get out there and talk to people. Like, just go out and do shit and talk to someone for the sake of talking to someone without any expectation for anything. Learn how to be emotionally intelligent again. Cultivate actual interests and hobbies outside of working out and gaming and gooning and the hustle. Show up. Literally, just show up for someone without an agenda if a plan is made or an event is even slightly hinted at. Compliment people, especially men, especially your brothers. Be someone for someone. Be the someone people can actually bear being around. And until then, you can either keep whining about the cold or go build that fire people will actually want to gather around. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to say, and may the rest of your day be as you deserve it to be.